The AFC is stacked. Patrick Mahomes and the Chiefs? A dynasty in the making. Josh Allen and the Bills? Still hungry. Joe Burrow and the Bengals? A constant threat. But what if I told you there's another team, one that's been hiding in plain sight, that could shock the entire conference this season? Yes, I'm talking about the Denver Broncos. And before you click away thinking, no way, not the Broncos, stick around, because by the end of this video, you might just believe Denver could actually be the best team in the AFC. Broncos country, let's ride. But seriously, I want to hear from you. Do you think Denver is legit this year? Or are we setting ourselves up for heartbreak again? Comment below, and let's jump in. Payton is more than just a head coach, he's a culture builder. Flashback. When he took over the New Orleans Saints in 2006, they were one of the NFL's most irrelevant teams. Within a year? NFC Championship game. Within 4 years? Super Bowl champions. His offensive creativity made Drew Brees a legend. Shorter QB, written off, but Payton's system maximized his strengths. Doesn't that sound familiar with Russell Wilson? When Payton first arrived in New Orleans, one of the first things he did was literally knock down walls in the practice facility to force communication between departments. That's who he is, a guy who sees dysfunction and eliminates it. In Denver, after Nathaniel Hackett's disastrous one-and-done season, that's exactly what they needed. Imagine if Payton works the same magic with Wilson that he did with Brees. Could we see another late-career quarterback renaissance? Let me know if you think Russ has another Pro Bowl run in him. 2022 was brutal. Wilson looked lost, slow, and honestly, unrecognizable. But last year under Payton? Improvement. Fewer turnovers, smarter throws, and yes, he looked slimmer and more mobile. People forget, Wilson is a 9-time Pro Bowler, Super Bowl champ, and once considered a top 5 QB. Those skills don't just vanish overnight. In Seattle, Pete Carroll built a system around Russ's improvisation and deep ball accuracy. Denver initially tried to make him a pocket passer, which isn't his game. Payton adjusted, more bootlegs, quicker reads, designed rollouts. That's why the offense looked more alive down the stretch. What if 2022 was the outlier, not the new norm? What if that was Russ at his worst, and now he's on the way back up? If Wilson returns to even 80% of his Seattle prime, Denver suddenly looks terrifying. Denver's defense has quietly been one of the best in football the past few years, even while the offense was sputtering. Patrick Sutton too is already being compared to legends like Revis and Champ Bailey. He doesn't just cover receivers, he erases them. Remember that early 2022 stretch? The Broncos' defense was holding opponents under 20 points almost every week, but the offense just couldn't score. The Broncos have a history of defense-led teams. Think back to the 2015 Super Bowl run. Von Miller, Aqib Talib, DeMarcus Ware. Defense carried Peyton Manning in his final season. That DNA is still alive in Denver. Here's a hot take. If Patrick Sutton played in a bigger market like New York or Dallas, he'd be a household name right now. Do you agree? Is he the best CB in the NFL today? Courtland Sutton, big-bodied receiver, jump ball threat, red zone monster. Jerry Jeudy, if healthy elite route runner, can break ankles with his cuts. Marvin Mims, sleeper pick to break out, brings speed element the offense has lacked. Javonte Williams, power runner, tough to tackle, paired with Perrine for balance. Back in 1998, when Denver had Terrell Davis and John Elway, balance on offense was the secret. This roster is starting to echo that, strong running game plus timely passing. Imagine Russ cooking again with Jeudy stretching the field, Sutton bullying corners, and Javonte pounding the ball. Do the Broncos suddenly have one of the most underrated offenses in the AFC? Chiefs, still the kings, but not untouchable. Lost weapons, defense aging. Chargers, talented, but cursed with inconsistency. Herbert is great, but coaching chaos continues. Raiders, rebuilding mode, QB situation shaky. Historically, the AFC West has gone through cycles. The Chiefs weren't always dominant, Remember the mid-2000s Chargers or early 2010s Broncos? Dynasties don't last forever. Do you think the Chiefs' reign is starting to crack? Or will Mahomes keep them on top no matter what? Drop your predictions in the comments. Nobody expects Denver to win. That's power. Look back at the 2017 Eagles, underdogs all the way, Super Bowl champs. 2019 49ers, 4 wins to Super Bowl in 1 year. What if 2025 is Denver's version of that story? Everyone counting them out, only for them to flip the script? Early winnable games could snowball into confidence. Momentum matters. Hot starts often predict playoff runs. Denver's home field advantage, mile-high altitude, is still one of the toughest in football. Opponents literally struggle to breathe in that thin air. Would you bet on the Broncos winning 10-plus games this year? Be honest. I want to see your win-loss predictions down below. The Broncos have the ingredients: a championship-caliber coach, a motivated quarterback, elite defense, dangerous weapons, and the element of surprise. The question is, can they put it all together? If they do, don't be shocked when Denver isn't just competing, they're dominating. So what do you think? Are the Broncos legit contenders for the AFC crown? Or will this end in another disappointing season? Drop your thoughts.